All right, thanks, Ross. Good morning, everybody. Good to be back at it. Hope everybody enjoyed a week away from Clemson football as well. But good to be back going. Glad to be back at home. So it's a great opportunity for us. Excited about a night game in the Valley. That's always a lot of fun for our fans, and so I know everybody's excited about that. This is a really good football team coming in here. Very talented. 3 losses, but all of them a touchdown or less. And I think their 3 losses have come to 3 teams that are combined 22-2. So they've been in some very, very competitive games. They can score points on anybody. Really do a great job putting a lot of pressure on you offensively to have to match them, because they move the ball on everyone. To me, this is certainly the most complete and best offense we've seen since Georgia. So really good group. Quarterback's a future pro, knows what the heck he's doing. I mean, they're really well coached. I think he's just an extension of the coach out on the field. It's very well coordinated as far as what they do offensively. They want to throw the football. I think they're 10th in the country in passing, so they know what they're doing. They got some really good skill. In totality, same thing. Best overall group of receivers as a group since Georgia. So really explosive offense. Again, do a lot of things to challenge you from a discipline standpoint with their run game and all the boots and swap boots off of it and play action shots. Quarterback is a factor with his legs as well, but he's a very accurate thrower, and again, a really veteran, experienced, savvy football player that's really well coached. Again, I can't say that enough about how well coordinated they are on offense and what they do. So we got our hands full there. Physical up front, very talented running backs. 25, the freshman has really become an explosive player for him. Has made some huge plays, some critical situations for him. Huge challenge. And then over on the defensive side, same thing. Very aggressive, style of play. Really challenge you, try to disrupt you up front. Very good in the interior and on the edges with their D-line. 2 or 3 of the best DNs we've seen this year as well. These guys really do a good job, with their physicality, their hands, knocking people down, knocking people's hands down. They just a really again well coordinated group that's not afraid to challenge you in all phases. So we got to play well. Got to continue to do the things that have gotten us to this point. And that's, number one, taking care of the ball, winning the big play margin, and we've been a very good third down team. We've been good on third down offense, good third down defense, and that's been a huge factor for us. None more of those than the turnover margin and what we've been able to do throughout the year. So that's got us to this point. We got to continue to build on the things that we've done well, and we spent a lot of time these past couple of weeks really studying things we haven't done well, and trying to make some improvement in those areas. But again, just excited to get back going. It's November coming up. Happy Halloween to everyone this week, and another great opportunity again in the Valley. I mean, two weeks ago we had the Ring of Honor with Kim Graham Miller, former Olympian, and C.J. Spiller going in the Ring of Honor. What a cool and special moment that was. And now we've got Hall of Fame inductions, Clemson Hall of Fame inductions this weekend with Taj Boyd and Sammy Watkins, and then we've got 7 other great former athletes as well from the other sports that are going in. But super proud of Taj and Sammy, and it's really fun for me to be able to be at this point in life where I get to see some of that type of stuff and reflect on those guys and honor those guys and what they meant. To me, it seems like they were here last week, playing. So it's kind of crazy that, they're at this point, but so well deserving and excited to be a part of that and celebrating with those guys. But, again, open date was good. Injury-wise, we're in as good a spot as we've been in a while. So hopefully, we can have a good week. It's going to be a tough practice today and tomorrow, but hopefully we can stay healthy this week and have all hands on deck Saturday night for a good Louisville team. Any questions?
How are they different with Shuck now compared to what they were doing with Plummer offensively or in the passing game?
They're just passing game wise. They're just very well coordinated through the play action game. It's a lot of stress on you, with the again what they do in the running game. They really want to throw the ball out to set the run game up. And if you really watch them when they've had some very critical situations late in games, they've gone to the run game, and the run game has bailed them out. But they got a lot of normal drop back shots and quick game and things that people do. But it's really more they'll get in some pistol, they'll be underneath, and some true downhill play action shots, a lot of cross country routes, throwbacks. And again, a lot of the boots and swap boots that create conflict for your backers and your safeties. So just do a great job with it, man. It buys them time and protection as well. They're more play action oriented. It's very, remember Coach Petrino, that's what it looks like, in that. As far as style of play and kind of getting ready for that era of Louisville football, when we would play them. It was always one of the biggest challenges, going against them schematically because of all the misdirection, formations, movements, and, they're on the edge, they're downhill at you, they're running the counter, they're running the zone, they're running the quarterback, a screen game comes off of it, and then boom, here you go. It's a play action boot, buying time, set up, throw it back, or take a shot. But these receivers are really good. That number one is he's special, and he took the BC game over Friday night. When they had to have it, he had two huge down the field plays, one of them one-handed catch that really got him back in the game. So they got every aspect. To their offense, and I think how they call the plays is very, very well coordinated as well.
With Isaac Brown running back and how quick and explosive he is, how vital is it that you not only control the edges but also gap control with the cutbacks that he seems really adept at exploiting? Yeah,
because they will run the stretch. They're an inside zone team too, but they'll try to get on, and they're going to definitely do that because that's an area that we've not been great at consistently enough of really setting the edge like we need to. We've given up some plays, and that's an area we got to improve. This month for sure, but they certainly will try to exploit that, and it's huge because they create distortion, and they will cut people too. So if they get you cut on the backside, you're really in trouble. And if you don't do a good job of squeezing, and the gap gets bigger, and it's a cutback lane, and he can hit it, and he can hit the home run. So he's a good football player. He's really gotten better and better as the season has gone, and you can see their confidence in him has grown as well.
Since maybe when I look at him and I see the speed on the perimeter, maybe the fastest team you've played since Georgia?
Oh yeah, there ain't no doubt. There ain't no doubt about it. These guys are 10th, like I said, 10th in the country in passing offense. They're 20th in scoring. They know what they're doing. They're very, very well schooled and coordinated and got dudes. It's really good speed out there. But the quarterback, he makes them go. He really knows what he's doing. Got a lot of respect. Didn't know much about him until really studying them. So a lot of respect for him as a player. Very good. Very good.
Talk about the quarterback. He's a seventh-year senior. He's really just now putting together a full season. I know he's had some fits and starts due to injuries. How difficult is it to have patience with a quarterback in this era of college football? And obviously you've seen results of that from Cade this year.
Yeah, I think it depends on who the head coach is. Probably that's part of it. What the situation is. It's hard to have patience because you have so much noise and fans, and as far as like just if a kid's not great as a freshman, and if the head coach is under a lot of pressure to win right then, you know, I mean, sometimes, you know, you go on to the next guy, right? You know, just to maybe appease the masses or whatever. So it's definitely harder than it used to be because, again, there's just, you know, everybody wants to win yesterday, and unfortunately, you know, quarterback play all football play is developmental, but especially at that position. And again, I've said that many times, if we just threw guys away or judged them based on what they did as a first-year starter, we missed out on some of the greatest quarterbacks that have ever played the game. So guys get better. You know, there's just not a lot of patience anymore. And there's the same thing on some of the kids too. Not a lot of patience for those guys. You know, they want it right now, and they have to develop. And you don't develop if you're not willing to, you know, really put the work in. So I think it's definitely harder, but I think there's plenty of reminders out there. This kid's one of them, that it's very much a developmental position and game. And there's so many. You can look in the NFL. It's the same thing in the NFL. I mean, there's some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now maybe weren't great early in their career. You know, but if you're made of the right stuff and you keep getting better, you know, you develop, you get better. The game will eventually slow down, and every now and then you have a guy that just transitions right away. You know, but that's not always the case. But sometimes that creates more pressure on other guys. But you look at our quarterback. I mean, he was a first-year starter last year and got better as the year went, but made a lot of first-year starter mistakes. And you know, but his talent in the game has slowed down for him, and his talent is shining through. He's a really good player, and he's a second-year starter now, and he's developing. There's still more for him, but you know, and it's not just mental development; it's physical development, it's confidence, it's chemistry, it's everything together. So certainly have seen that in college football the last couple of years. You've seen, you know, guys that have hung around and got better. You know, there's a lot of guys that are in a hurry to go make a practice squad or get cut. And I think that's one positive with where we are in college football now. A lot of these kids will stay and develop, which will be good for them in the long term. So I think that's what you see right now with Cade for sure. He's gotten better. He's year 3. And I think we have the same thing with CV. And that's what we sold him in the recruiting process, you know, and he's getting better. You know, y'all don't really see it, but he's developing. And he's a kid that has some patience on the front end, saying, you know what, this is what I need. I'm 17 years old. You know, I know where I want to be. You know, all right, I'm going to redshirt. I'm going to listen. I'm going to learn. Next year I get a chance to, you know, to really get better. And he's really progressing. But he's kind of doing it in the dark. Eventually he will come to light. But, you know, sometimes kids get thrown out there and it just is what it is. And if they don't perform well early, you know, we're so quick to just write them off, you know. And this kid here is, again, a good example. What'd you say he was? 7th year. Oh, there you go. Well, he looks like it. I mean, I wrote down he's a pro. This kid's a pro. I mean, knows how to play the game.
Well, that's part of the other thing, too. I mean, guys like Cade, as sophomore, 19-year-old sophomores are being compared to Bo Nix, Michael Penix, guys like this that are 25 years old and have seen a thing or two.
Yeah, and you know, and again, you know, a lot of those schools that they were originally at would have loved to have had them back, right? You know, so I think you have to have some patience. But again, you know, some of that goes to, you know, coaching situations and things like that, and you know, a lot of pressure to have to try to win, and you're looking for an answer, and sometimes the answer's right there. You just got to have some patience. You know, you just got to have a little patience. That's not a popular word these days, but I get it. But
what's your familiarity with Coach Brown?
Just met him a few times. I don't know him well. We've crossed paths. Obviously, we've been in meetings together, and then I first met him when he was at Purdue, crossing paths on the recruiting trail. I think I saw him in Georgia one day, maybe in Alabama one day, just out on the recruiting trail. and then obviously just getting to know him once he's come in and become the coach at U of L.
What did the off week do for Wesco and kind of his recovery back from the ankle?
Just, gave him time and is helping him, just have more time to get ready to play. So I thought he, got off to a good start last week, but big day today and tomorrow. Big day, two really strenuous physical days, getting these guys ready to go play again on Saturday night. So hopefully he'll have a good week and be ready to go. But he's definitely made a lot of progress.
How about Tyler? Where's he at?
He won't be ready this week. He's still week to week, but not ready to make him day to day yet. But he's week to week, and same thing. He's made a lot of progress. He had the tightrope surgery, and so I've seen him with his scooter, and I've seen him with crutches, and I've seen him with a cane, and now he's got none of that. So he's getting better,
With the benefit of a second open date during the season, did you handle the self-scout kind of as you normally would? Was there anything maybe that you and the staff were able to kind of uncover as to what you might tweak here moving forward?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't share that, but for sure.
Are there some,
Yeah.
Did you kind of dig deeper just because you don't normally have two open dates in the same year?
Yeah, and so we use our staff very efficiently and crossover study. We break each other down as if we're playing each other. I think you get a good lens from the defensive side and offense studying their defense but certainly. And we do the self-scout about every 3 games. We do one offensively every week, but we do a crossover about every 3 games, just so kind of catching up and adding to that from the previous 3 games was good for us. But certainly some things that are obvious that everybody here go, well, we got to do that better. But then there are some other things that are a little more subtle, or maybe it's some tendencies or some tells that we might miss on one side of the ball. That we're able to maybe expose. So yeah, absolutely. That's a lot of time, and then obviously get a little head start on the next opponent. But we took a lot of time with our younger guys this open date too, with a bunch of competitive work with those guys, the low rep guys, low snap guys that really need to get better, in some areas. So we spent some time with them. I think that was good for us. And then guys just getting healthy. I think that was a big part of it. So we've got a big month ahead, tough challenge, but looking forward to it.
I talked to Tony Elliott a couple of weeks ago after they played Louisville, and he was saying that their freshman back, Isaac Brown's probably as complete a 3-down type of back as a true freshman as he's seen. Obviously, he's seen some very good ones here. What has been your impressions of watching him on film?
Ditto. I mean, he's really, really good. I mean, they use the running backs in the passing game a lot. I mean, they do. You have to cover them all the time. They'll show fake it and boot, and they'll throw it back to him out the back door. I mean, you have to be very disciplined. Because they involve their backs in screen games, swing passes, in all aspects. And I think he's a complete player. I mean, he can catch the ball. He can run through the trash. He's physical, in the line of scrimmage. And then he can get on the edge, and he's got the speed and run away from you. So, but he's not afraid to protect, any of that stuff. I mean, it doesn't take you long to notice him. You would never think he's a freshman when you watch the tape, and especially some of the big plays that he's made in some critical situations. Again, a couple big ones late in the game, Friday night. So really good player, really good player. Zero's a good player, 24's a good player. One kid came from Alabama. He's electric, good finisher on the ball. I mean, they got good weapons involved. They're tight ends. They use them a lot, within what they do, especially in their play action game.
Do they play more man than anybody y'all seen thus far?
Not necessarily more than a couple other players. A little more than Virginia and Wake Forest. A little more than that. A little different style, a little more aggressive. We'll get up there and really challenge you and involve their safeties heavily in the run game. So, but they will play some coverage too. They mix it up. I mean, they're definitely on the aggressive side when it comes to, style of play.
Coach, what